Hello, my Algebra 2 students. So today we're going to take notes on writing linear word problems. And just a reminder from our last set of notes, we have a couple different forms in terms of writing a linear equation. We have y equals mx plus b, in which we have the slope and that starting point, or the y-intercept. We have ax plus by equals c, that's our standard form. That one's not going to be quite as helpful for us today. And then we have point slope form where it's y equals m times x minus x sub 1 plus y sub 1, where we have the slope. And then we have 1 point, so some information. So when we go over these word problems, we are going to try to figure out what information do they give us and which of these types of equations is going to be the most helpful. So problem number 1, yes, you do have to write this down. Otherwise your notes will not help you. Number 1, a plumber charges $25 for a service call plus $50 per hour. Write an equation for the total cost. So if we first think about what we know, we have this $25. He charges $25, they charge $25 for a service call. That is a one-time fee. That is going to be that starting. That's going to be the B, the beginning cost. Then they cost $50 per hour. This is going to be that reoccurring cost. This ends up being the slope because our cost is going to be growing by $50 every hour. So if we put our information together, we have the equation y equals 50x plus 25. Now we can use that equation to answer some questions. So for instance, how much would it cost if they worked for 8 hours? So if we plugged in 8 into our equation, this one is going to be our hours because this is $50 per hour plus the $25 flat fee. So our total cost, so this right here is going to be our total cost. Our total cost is going to be $50 for all 8 hours plus $25. So then all you got to do is multiply, and 50 times 8 is 400 plus the $25 makes it a total cost of $425 if they work for 8 hours at your house or wherever. Okay, another question. How many hours did they work if it cost $325? So let's just say we forgot how many hours that they actually worked at our house, but we know it cost us $325. Well, that means that we know the total cost. We know what the y is in our original equation. So we can say we know the answer is 325. We got that by multiplying 50 by something and adding the $25 flat fee. So if I were to solve that by subtracting 25 from both sides, and 300 equals 50x, divide both sides by 50, and x equals 6 hours. So that means that they worked at our house for 6 hours. Okay, our next question, number 2. An internet service provider charges $18 per month plus an initial setup fee. One customer paid a total of $81 after 2 months. So we need to look at what we have. This right here, our $18 per month, is going to be our rate of growth, our slope. So we know that our slope is 18, but we don't have the initial setup fee. We're not given that information. So we don't have B, so we can't use y equals mx plus b. But we are given a coordinate. This is one piece of information. We know that it costs them $81 after 2 months. That is the point, 2 months for $81. The reason I know that the 2 is first is because time is an independent variable and it's always first. Anything that happens without you wanting it to happen, that's the x value. So if I'm now given a slope and a point, I can use the point slope equation of y equals m times x minus x sub 1 plus y sub 1, and I have all the information that I need to plug in and find the equation for this internet service. So we have a slope of 18, and our point is a 2 and an 81. So I plugged in my 2 for my x sub 1 and my 81 for my y sub 1. And now I'm just going to simplify that and get it into slope-intercept form. So y equals 18x minus 36 plus 81. Y equals 18x plus 45. So that must mean that my $45 is my initial setup fee. So writing it in slope-intercept form actually gets us some additional information. And I could use the information that I had to figure it out. So that one required point-slope form. So let's try the third one. This is the last one. A group of friends goes to see Hamilton. There is a fixed agency fee for every order. If 5 friends go, it will cost $460. If 9 friends go, it'll cost $820. So we don't know how much each ticket costs, which would be the slope, and we don't know the fixed agency fee, which would be the y-intercept of the starting amount. All we have is 2 sets of information. We know that if 5 friends go, it'll cost $460, or if 9 friends go, it'll cost $820. So if I translate that into some math that we could work with, 5 friends cost $460, and 9 friends cost $820. Well, one thing that all of those equations have in common is I need to know the slope. Well, if I have 2 points, I can find the slope. I can find the slope by subtracting the y's over subtracting the x's. So I'm going to do that exact same thing for this. I'm going to call this point 1, and point 2. So I'm going to do 820 minus 460, which is my subtract my y's, over 9 minus 5, which is subtract my x's, and I am going to get 360 over 4, which is $90. So that's my slope, which means that each Hamilton ticket cost them $90. They're probably sitting up in the top balcony, but that's okay. At least they get to go see Hamilton. So now I have a slope, and I have 2 points. So I can choose either point. It really doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm just going to choose 5, 460. If you want to choose 9, 820, go for it. You will end up with the same exact equation once you've simplified. So using my equation, y equals m times x minus x sub 1 plus y sub 1. I'm going to plug in all of my information, and I'm going to get y equals 90 times x minus 5 plus 460. And if I distribute, I'm going to have y equals 90x minus 450 plus 460. And my final simplification to combine like terms right here gets us y equals 90x plus 10, which means that the ticket agency fee, that's the fee, is $10, and the cost per ticket costs $90. Now again, we could continue on and find some information about this, like let's just say we wanted to have 10 friends. We now have an equation that we can use to find additional information. Okay, see you guys in class.